Hi, my name is Mcintosh. I'm going to be discussing the introduction of Macintosh computers in the year of my birth, 1984. On January 24, 1984, Steve Jobs of Apple Incorporated introduced the first Macintosh computer to the world. It was the first personal computer to feature a mouse and a graphical user interface, rather than a command line interface which had been previously used. I chose this topic for several reasons. The first reason, being the more obvious of the two reasons, is that I was required to do so by my professor. The second and less obvious reason being that I have a personal interest in Apple's former chairman, Steve Jobs. Prior to discussing the Macintosh, I'm going to go over some key terms, vocabulary, or people that you may hear throughout the presentation. The first is Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs was an American entrepreneur best known as the co-founder and chairman as well as CEO of Apple Incorporated. He engineered the first successful line of personal computers, which led to the production of the Macintosh computer in 1984, the first computer to use graphic interface. In addition to Apple, Steve Jobs was also the founder and CEO of other additional companies such as Pixar and Next Incorporated. He also served as a board member for the Walt Disney Company. In addition to Macintosh, Jobs oversaw the development of the iMac, iTunes, iPad, iPod, and iPhone as well, prior to his death in 2011. Which brings us to graphic user interface. Graphic user interface is a type of user interface that allows users to interact with electronic devices using images rather than text command lines that were previously used. Command line interface is a means to interact with a computer program where the user issues commands to a program in the form of a text line. Just to briefly discuss, command lines used a keyboard only, whereas graphic user interfaces use picture icons and the mouse to maneuver through your system. So those are a few terms you may recognize. Okay, let's talk about the Macintosh. There are several differences between the graphic interface and command line interface that was previously used. Before Macintosh, all computers were text-based. They were operated by typing words onto the keyboard. This was command line interface. However, with the introduction of the Macintosh, graphic interface was discovered. Graphic user interface is a way for humans to interact with a computer via window icons and menus by way of a mouse, a device used to manipulate your way through and around a computer. Macintosh was first introduced to the world on January 24, 1984, after its only televised appearance during the third quarter of the Super Bowl 18. During its earliest debut, the Macintosh cost approximately $2,500. This is easily twice as much as what you would expect to pay for a computer today. In addition to computers today, you have laptop options, notebook options, etc. Without the Macintosh computer introduction of graphical interface, it is possible computers may have taken a whole new direction. The Macintosh changed the face of computers forever. It not only created the Mac look and feel, it also inspired forthcoming versions of Microsoft Windows and several other window interfaces. Without the introduction of the Macintosh, it's possible that we may still be using the command text line. So let's go over it one more time. Steve Jobs of Apple incorporated and introduced the first Macintosh computer to the world. Without the Macintosh computer, we would not have graphical interface. Or if we had graphical interface, it may have come at a much later date and time. It is by way of this creation that we've had other creations such as the iPad, the iPhone, etc. Again, my name is Amanda Cheek, and I was discussing the Macintosh computer introduced on January 24th of 1984, the year of my birth. Thank you. Have a good day.